Hello everyone, my name is Kiara Esteves and today I'll be discussing identifying rheumatoid arthritis relevant microRNAs in Hispanic patients. Rheumatoid arthritis, or RA, is a chronic autoimmune disorder that leads to inflammation of the synovial joints, such as the knees, elbows, and fingers, just to name a few. It can lead to bone erosion and joint deformities, as seen on the right. Epigenetics studies the heritable change in a protein that is caused by the activation or deactivation of genes without changing the DNA sequence itself. MicroRNAs have been linked to be an example of epigenetic regulations. MicroRNAs are the non-coding segments of RNA that can attach to the mRNA sequence and dictate whether it destroys itself or lessens the production of the protein that it's responsible for. Like with other diseases, racial and ethnic health disparities do exist among RA patients. Of the many RA-related studies, less than 5% have focused on the Hispanic patient population, who experience higher levels of disease activity and mortality rate. We hypothesize that specific microRNAs will be associated with RA in Hispanic patients. Our study had 27 patients with RA and 18 patients without it, where 89% of the total patient population identified as being Hispanic. The microRNAs were isolated and purified from the serum of these patients. We used nanostring and counter digital counting technology, which links each microRNA to an optical barcode that can count up to 800 microRNAs. This information was analyzed using nanostring and solver software, which allows us to apply strict criteria to determine which specific microRNAs will be associated with RA. Out of the 800 microRNAs, 72 of them have varying levels of expression between the RA patients and the healthy controls. The strict criteria applied when comparing these 72 microRNAs in the RA patients against that of the control patients included a 10% fold difference, a fold difference of more than 2.81, 75% folding in the same direction, or microRNAs that were previously identified. This criteria identified 9 new microRNAs that are associated with RA in Hispanic patients, and also confirmed 4 previously identified associations from microRNAs within RA. Of the previously identified microRNAs, MER223-3P and 126-3P were affiliated with inflammatory response and the pathogenesis of RA, whereas MER448 stimulate inflammation and MER4516 regulate inflammatory response. Of the 800 microRNAs found within the patients, 72 of them had different levels of expression between the RA patients and the healthy controls. In conclusion, we identified 9 new microRNAs that were associated with RA in Hispanic patients, and also confirmed previously identified associations from microRNA 223-3P, 126-3P, 26A5P, and 451A within RA. While our study population was small, these newly identified microRNAs have the potential to strengthen clinical diagnosis, follow-up, and response to treatment in Hispanic RA patients. Thank you all for listening to my presentation. I would like to thank my research mentor, Dr. Delgado Cruzada, and I would also like to thank CSTEP for having me present in this conference. I hope to see you all soon and stay safe. Thank you. Have a good one.